I've always been more into buying physical games than digital, and this is exactly the reason why. Digital games have an expiration date, and with the Wii Shop Channel coming down soon, that means that hundreds of small games are disappearing from existence. The store doesn't completely go down until January of next year, and you'll still be able to re-download all of your games until then. But after the 26th of March, which is very soon, you'll no longer be able to add Wii points to your system, meaning you'll no longer be able to purchase these games. The Virtual Console games are obviously available elsewhere, but there's a ton of original downloadable Wii games going bye-bye. It can be a bit intimidating digging through the shovelware to find the gems, and this video should hopefully be a good start. I'll be doing another video covering a lot more games, but if you don't want to break the bank, then here are 10 of the best WiiWare exclusives that you should grab before they're gone for good. Games that were originally exclusive to the Wii but moved on to other consoles will be covered in the next video, not this one. And these are all in alphabetical order, not order of quality. But anyway, let's get to the games. Konami released 3 titles for the WiiWare under the ReBirth moniker, including Contra ReBirth, Gradius ReBirth, and of course, Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth. The other games are more like sequels, whereas Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth is supposed to be a sort of remake of Castlevania The Adventure from Game Boy, which isn't usually held in high regard. I haven't actually played that game, but from what I've heard, this game isn't much like that one at all. To be honest, this game just feels like any old pre-Symphony of the Night Castlevania, which is a good thing in my book. Believe it or not, the first review I ever wrote for a video game was a user review over at GameFAQs.com for Defend Your Castle. So let me read you some words from 13-year-old Jamie. To destroy the stickmen, you must use your trusty Wii remote to grab them and throw them up in the air, for them to plummet from the skies to their death. Pretty simple gameplay, but works like a charm. Up to 4 players can play at the same time. The graphics in this game differs a lot from many other games. The game looks like it's been designed by a little kid that doesn't have the ability to draw very well yet. Even if you don't like it, it doesn't really matter because it only costs about $5. Well said. Well said. You may have heard of Fast Racing Neo on Wii U or Fast RMX on Switch, but did you know that the first game in the series was exclusive to WiiWare? I haven't played those other 2, but I can tell you that this game is pretty damn awesome. It's a great alternative to Wipeout and F-Zero, and even has its own unique quirks, like the Ikaruga-esque colour switching. It's a fun game, I like it very much. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles My Life as a King was a word vomit of a title released at the launch of WiiWare. It's not an action RPG like the other Crystal Chronicles games, it's more of a simulation game. You can build houses, shops, and send other guys out to go on missions for you. And you don't even get to watch them fight, you just get to observe them via little pop-up messages. I'm sure it doesn't sound like much fun, but it just is, and I don't know why. And now we have its sequel, My Life as a Dark Lord. When I got this game, I thought it would be the same as My Life as a King, but you play as a bad guy, but no. 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 It's a tower defense game, and a really good one at that. You literally build a tower, fill it with monsters, and watch as your minions devour the puny humans. So if you're an angsty teen, then Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles My Life as an Edgelord might be the game for you. There was a surprising lack of 3D platformers on WiiWare. I can't really think of any outside of Jet Rocket. This one is made by Shinen Studios, the same team that did Fast Racing League. I read a quote about this game calling it the Super Mario Galaxy of WiiWare games, and I can agree with that. It's more of a poor man's Mario Galaxy, but let's be honest, you've probably played Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 a million times, so give Jet Rocket a try. It's pretty good, and stands out from the abundance of 2D games on the store. From the creators of Let's Tap comes Let's Catch. Now that might not mean anything to you, but what if I told you that the creator of these games was Yuji Naka, the father of Sonic? So what, you may be thinking? A casual game is still a casual game, you may be telling your computer screen. Well, let me stop you right there, you crazy person. This isn't any old throw and catch game. It's a throw and catch game where the people that you're playing catch with let out all of their insecurities. You dive deep into their lives and help them let out their personal demons, all while indulging in America's oldest pastime. It's really weird, but that's what I enjoyed so much about it. Way Forward are mostly known for side-scrollers such as the Shantae series, but side-scroller Lit is not. It's a horror puzzle game. A school is taken over by black squares that spit out shadowy figures, and it's your job to figure out how to make it across each room. The puzzles aren't always obvious and you can easily fail your first attempt, even during some of the earlier levels. There honestly aren't too many horror puzzle games to my knowledge, and this is a pretty decent one. I'd say it's more for puzzle fans than horror fans though. But if you're curious, you should check this game out. It's pretty lit. Oddly enough, Nintendo didn't really support WiiWare with many of its big name franchises. There's WarioWare, Excite Bike, Dr. Mario, but besides that, not much else. Except Pokemon. There was a lot of Pokemon. Although I suppose it's handled more by the Pokemon company than Nintendo. But anywho, Pokemon Rumble is the big Pokemon WiiWare game that was released in the West. You play as little toy Pokemon and run around smashing and catching other little toy Pokemon, so that you can become strong enough to compete in the Battle Royale. Eat your heart out, Fortnite and PUBG. This game is simple even by Pokemon standards, but it's the kind of simple little fun that you can get on the WiiWare. Don't expect a great amount of depth, but if you're a Pokemon fan, you'll probably get a kick out of it. It's certainly better than the Wii U one. And we'll end off with another weird one, Yumi and the Cubes. It's weird in a similar but different way to Let's Catch. Let's Catch is more obvious about its weirdness, coming directly from the character's dialogue, but Yumi and the Cubes doesn't have much dialogue or cutscenes. The small narrative is told through the visuals and gameplay. You have to fling these little guys and girls known as phallos onto cubes. If they become unbalanced and fall off, they experience what the game calls fallout and disappear into the void. Geez, I think this puzzle game might be scarier than Lit, and it's not even a horror game. The gameplay is as simple as trying to balance your little people on the cube. Again, simple yet effective, like many of the best WiiWare games. I also love when games incorporate control inputs in unique ways that makes them part of the game, like Ape Escape and Tearaway. In Yumi and the Cubes, you have to shake the controller to load up your phallos, and then you hear them as you fling them out of the remote. It's a really cool and bizarre artsy game, but also just a decent puzzle game if that's what you're looking for. Good. So there you have it, 10 of the best WiiWare games. Of course, the WiiWare had some other great games besides this, some exclusive and some that began exclusive but then came to other platforms. So check back for another video of other WiiWare games that you might want to grab before they're gone. In the meantime, thanks for watching and have fun playing video games.